Hey everyone, welcome back to Williamson Ridge Outdoors. Today there's a little horse show going on, so we thought we'd bring the horses out here. And you know, I've been really wanting to put some horse videos and stuff on and kind of show some of that side of things too. So today Tamara wanted to bring the horses out and kind of show them a little bit, so that's what we're doing. So she's out kind of getting warmed up a little bit right now on Winchester. Let me flip you around there so you can see that. Like I say, she's over here just kind of getting warmed up. We're not really expecting anything like winning any prizes or anything like that. This is really just to kind of get the horses out and get them used to other horses and stuff. We've had them on some trail rides and that kind of thing, but it tends, once you get the horses apart from each other, they tend to kind of get a little fidgety from each other. Guys, this is Winchester. Winchester is a 17-year-old Missouri foxtrotter. He likes to do his thing, but he's a little fidgety when you take him in some new places every once in a while, but what gets him really fidgety is when you take him away from his girlfriend over there, Tilly. So he doesn't like being away from her, so we're trying to work with him on that kind of stuff, which is actually one of the reasons why we're here is, you know, we can leave her here at the trailer and then take him out in the ring and see if he kind of gets along with other horses and kind of deals with the pressure of being away from Tilly. So as you can see right now, he's really paying attention to the horses behind me. Tilly, on the other hand, she is 7 years old. As you can see, she is calm as a cucumber right now. And Winchester's over there making noise at other horses. But Tilly, she don't care whether Winchester's around or not. She's real mild-mannered, real easy to get along with most of the time. Sometimes she can be fidgety. We don't have these horses shoed. We actually trim their hooves and stuff, and as long as they're usually in the dirt and that kind of stuff, then they're fine. But as you can see, for here, the arena actually has a lot of gravel and rock and stuff in it. So we put their boots on to protect their hooves, and mainly on the front because that's where most of their weight and stuff is. But that really helps, and 90% of the time they don't need these. Their hooves are fine. They've actually built up the strength in their hoof to really withstand being on the ground unless you get in this rocky stuff. As you can see, like stuff like this is laying around all over the place, and the arena is full of it. So we put their little shoes on, that way it doesn't chip their hooves and we don't have to worry about it hurting their feet. So this is how he gets kind of fidgety. He actually Tilly is just right here. You can see Tamara over there riding her. Still in eye distance, or being able to see her, but he cannot stand for her to be over there and him over here. I didn't get that recorded, but first place goes to Tamara Williamson. Walk of shame for Winchester. He couldn't handle it. So Winchester's actually being punished right now. Because his fit, he was throwing a fit, which I missed it on camera, but he started bucking and all kinds of stuff and throwing a fit out there in the arena because he wanted to come back to Tilly. So now, once he got back to Tilly, he's being worked to show that that is not a good place. Like when she comes to Tilly, then it's a punishment basically that he wants to get back here so bad. So Tilly is extremely calm. She don't care what's going on. So he gets worked while he's at Tilly, and then he gets a rest whenever he gets away from her. Winchester's sidestepping.
not soft like Tilly.
Yeah.
And so it takes a lot of pulls. I mean, I had both hands really pulling on his face to get him to come round.
We were in there earlier with like 2 horses, but they were walking, and he would like kind of run this way, but I could circle him, and then eventually...
Well, and I think circling is what bottled him up more. When I felt him bottle up and get really strong and up, I let him go. And then he rode out a little bit, and if a group came at him or whatever, if he saw Tilly, he'd bottle up again, and I'd push him forward, and I'd release a little bit of his face. Because what I was feeling is him feeling claustrophobic, like he didn't have anywhere to go, so his only option was up. And it was different times. I mean, sometimes I could ask him to walk, and he'd listen and he'd mind, but other times I felt that big ball, and that ball is what you don't want to keep. If you keep that leg and rein building that ball and the back to raise, it's going to go up eventually. So you've got to have, if you feel that, you want to break that off. And he can go in a little itty bitty circle easily and still get round and still have all that momentum build up and go up. So for him, what I did instead is I pushed his rib cage to the side, and gave him an out. Because if we pull and we pull both reins and we bottle up, then it goes up. So instead, I loosened this rein, loosened this leg, and pushed him out, and it wasn't. I don't know if you could see what I'm doing, because just like Tilly, when you raise your inside rein and she just gives you a little face, that's all I was getting with Winchester, but it was a lot of pull. So all I was getting is maybe this. I'm exaggerating when I'm going here. That would have been nice, and I was pulling enough to make him get that, but he was too distracted. So all I get is just a look in, and then good. Travel straight, look in, travel straight. And I'm kind of correcting his body. If he's leaning to the fence or leaning to the rail, I'd correct him, go straight, correct him, go straight. And if I didn't have anything to correct, if he was on the path, I'd pick a different one, just so that I could keep talking the whole time in the ring. He was a lot of horse though. And it was never, there were times where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling something different. And over here, he was lazy. Over there, he was wild as a buck. So over here, I'm pushing the heck out of him. I'm clucking, I'm kissing, because if you let him settle over here, it defeats the purpose. So I tried to keep him, I asked him to be consistent all the way around the arena, but what I had to do to get that was different every...
Do you think where I pulled his head around after his bucking and he stopped and then I got off, that kind of ruined him?
No, because we went right back in and did it again and he was successful. And did you notice what I did at the end? I got off in the arena. Everybody runs to the outside and gets off out there. Well, what do the horses do? They don't want to go out. They don't want to go in the arena. So if you get off every time out here and you run that way, you're just training them. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right out the arena. You know, that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not following the group. He needs to learn that everybody can go around him and buzz, and I want him to find. And he did. He stopped and settled on the rail and was like, A-okay. I mean, he was relaxed when I hopped off. He was a lot of horse.
Well, I'm riding a rodeo out there.
He was a lot of horse. I think today was awesome for him. I think this is everything he could have needed. I don't think you could have set this up for at home or...
Yeah, we're going to do this.
I think this was great for him. And Tilly, all that work you've done, this is very earned.
So thanks for going along with us to our little horse show we went to. As you can see, it's actually a different day because it got dark on us and I didn't get to finish up the video right there at the showground. Let me kind of just recap real quick on what went on and what was going on. So Winchester has a little issue when you take him away from Tilly, that he does not like it, you know, and he wants to buck and carry on and get back to Tilly, but you have to train them to not do that and not want to go back to the barn or go back to their companion out in the field all the time. They need to trust you in order to be able to have a calm head about them in most situations. We took him to the show in order to put him around other horses, thinking they might occupy his mind enough to kind of get it off Tilly. It wasn't really working. He was really just thinking about her, and every time you'd get him away from her a little bit, he'd start carrying on. Tamara tried to ride him in the first event, and he started to buck a little bit. Tamara got scared. She got off of him, and she walked him back. So we actually had him entered in 2 events, and Jessica of JLR Farm was there to help Tamara out, and she's actually been doing lessons with Tamara for a long time, and she's really helped her out, you know, through a lot of things with getting through to the horses. Tamara gave Winchester to her, and she took him out in the second event that we had him entered into, and she rode him through his troubles. And really by the end of that session, like, he was really calming down, and I mean, he was a little bit tired because he had worked himself up so much, but it really changed a whole lot just in that little event. And trying to, instead of trying to run back to Tilly, he was actually trying to pay attention to the rider. So that's really what we want in pretty much all situations. You know, whether you're on the trail riding or whether you're in a show or whatever, you want the horse to pay attention to you and not everybody else, and not be thinking about going back to their buddy. So anyways, that's working out. That's actually the first show that we had them in, and you know, it definitely was a big improvement. So we're going to take them to other shows, and actually Tamara has taken them to 2 or 3 other shows since that one, and every time there's improvement going on there. It's really been paying off. And might I add, Tamara actually won first place in her event on Tilly, which is pretty cool. It's the first show she was entered in, you know, and it's, you know, it's kind of the payoff, you know, for all the work and training that you put into a horse, is to actually place or have recognition for that. So it's pretty cool that that happened. Winchester, on the other hand, he didn't place in any of the events he was in, but like I say, it was really a you know, a training thing for him. We weren't expecting anything out of him. We just wanted to give him the experience of being there. But in the next event they went to, Winchester actually placed 4th in his class, which was surprising. He done a whole lot better there, and he placed 4th, which is a huge improvement. And Tamara actually entered in 2 events with Tilly again, and she placed first place in one event and second in another, which is just really cool. Again, it's a testament to the training and all the stuff that she's worked with Tilly. And Tamara asked her to do something, she does it. She doesn't go crazy over other horses. She doesn't go crazy when she leaves Winchester. She is focused on the rider, and the rider's focused on her, so that they communicate well with each other. So it's really cool to see that, and those first place ribbons are just, you know, a pretty cool reward to get out of that. Anyways, I'm happy for Tamara on that, and I'm glad that you know, that it worked out that way. It's got her really excited because now she's wanting to go to every show that she can, and not only for the winning and the reward of doing that, but also for the training, because you can see such an improvement in Winchester that it's really kind of worth doing that for the experience and putting them through that in order to get them to where that they are trained, rideable, and you don't have to always take Winchester out with a buddy. If somebody wanted to take him out on a trail by himself, then he would be trained to be able to do that, and that's what's really important. So guys, that's going to wrap it up. I know this kind of ran long, but I appreciate you following along. If you like videos like this, make sure to click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.